Well, it's official. Yellowstone's patriarch, John Dutton, is dead. The man who symbolized both power and tradition in Montana is gone, and with his death, the entire fabric of the Dutton family and their empire has been shaken to its core. In the opening scene of Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2, we see Beth, stunned and grief-stricken, arriving at the governor's mansion in Helena. It's a somber, foreboding sight. Police cars line the driveway and there's an ambulance waiting, lights flashing. It's clear that something terrible has happened. Soon after, Casie arrives and forces his way past the officials blocking his path, determined to see his father's body for himself. He finds John lying on the floor of his own bathroom, a gun only inches away from his hand. To an outsider, it could easily look like a tragic suicide, but Beth immediately suspects her brother Jamie is involved. Her suspicion isn't without reason. After all, Jamie's been maneuvering for power for quite some time, and his close ally Sara has been whispering in his ear to eliminate the Dutton family obstacles. As this mid-season premiere sets the stage for Yellowstone's final episodes, we're not just witnessing a family's grief. We're witnessing a seismic shift in the story, as one of television's most iconic characters exits in a way that's bound to have enormous consequences. With John gone, there's an undeniable void, and questions loom over who will fill it, both in the family and in Montana's political landscape. Beth's reaction to her father's death is raw and intense. She's not just grieving, she's furious, and her suspicions of Jamie's involvement turn her sadness into something darker. This is no longer just a power struggle for her, it's a full-blown vendetta, and the stakes have never been higher. Meanwhile, Jamie's reaction is anything but straightforward. He's visibly shocked to learn that John is dead, but we quickly realize he's unaware of just how involved he is. In fact, Jamie's girlfriend Sara seems to have taken matters into her own hands without Jamie fully grasping her intentions. Jamie's surprise suggests he may not have been fully committed to this extreme action, which adds layers to his ongoing feud with Beth and brings his loyalty into question. It's these family dynamics that Yellowstone has explored so deeply over the years, and now, with John's death, they've reached a breaking point. Jamie has always been the family outsider, the one willing to go to extreme lengths for power, but also the one grappling with insecurities and conflicting emotions. Now, as Beth's war with Jamie escalates, we're seeing their rivalry shift from a battle of words to a conflict that could destroy everything. One thing that really stands out in this new episode is the choice to present the story through two timelines. One, in the present, picks up after John's death, while the other flashes back to 6 weeks earlier, right where Season 5 Part 1 left off. These split timelines create an interesting dynamic. On one hand, it keeps us guessing about how things escalated so quickly, while on the other, it feels like an elegy for the cowboy way of life that Yellowstone has long paid homage to. As the Dutton family mourns in Montana, we're given glimpses of Rip and other ranch hands adjusting to life in Texas. These scenes feel almost like a different world. Texas is flatter, quieter, and holds none of the familiarity or history Montana has for the Duttons. It's a stark contrast and perhaps a hint at where the future of Yellowstone may be headed. The Texas storyline feels like a setup for the upcoming 6,666 spin-off series. But here, it underscores the growing disconnect between the past and the uncertain future of the Dutton legacy. With John gone, there's a power vacuum. Beth and Jamie are now each other's biggest threats. Beth is grappling with her grief and her anger, while Jamie seems hesitant, perhaps even regretful, as he realizes he's set a dangerous game into motion. And with Sara's influence growing, it's clear this is a conflict that could have severe consequences for both of them. John's death marks a pivotal moment, not only for Yellowstone as a series, but for every character connected to him. The political landscape in Montana is shifting, and with Beth determined to carry on her father's legacy, she's not going to back down easily. Jamie may have gained the upper hand for now, but with his insecurities and Sara's influence, it's anyone's guess how long he can hold on to it. Yellowstone has always been a show that doesn't shy away from complex themes: tradition versus progress, loyalty versus betrayal, and family bonds tested beyond the breaking point. As we head into the final 5 episodes, we can only expect these themes to grow even darker and more intense. The Duttons are on the brink of losing everything they've fought for, and with John's death, the stakes have never been higher. So, what do you think? Did John's death surprise you? Where do you see the Dutton family headed now? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as we follow Yellowstone's final ride to its explosive conclusion. With everything on the line, one thing's certain, it's going to be unforgettable.